How does a covert narcissist control you using his voice? You must see this if you don't know. The goat narcissist is widely regarded as one of the most dangerous types of narcissists, and with good reason. Their abuse is exceptionally difficult to recognize because they expertly maintain a constant victim mentality, making it challenging to perceive their narcissistic traits. They possess a hidden grandiosity and entitlement, completely opposite to what one might expect from a typical narcissist. Being entangled with a covert narcissist is akin to being trapped in a room filled with odorless poisonous gas. The suffocation and impact are palpable, but the source remains undetectable. It is like being stabbed by invisible knives, witnessing only the bloodshed without comprehending the true cause. Their constant manipulation and gaslighting lead you to believe that you are solely responsible for your suffering, perpetuating their twisted illusion. These monsters adeptly wear a variety of masks to manipulate emotions and extract their narcissistic supply. They know precisely how to play different roles, recruiting enablers or bulldogs to act and function on their behalf, while they luxuriate in their perpetual victimhood. One of their most potent tools is the modulation of their voice. Yes, they skillfully adjust their vocal tone, using various inflections to elicit specific responses from their targeted individuals. In today's episode, we will delve into this intriguing topic, thoroughly exploring how covert narcissists utilize their voices to exert control. Hello, everyone. In this episode, we will uncover the secrets of how covert narcissists employ their voice as a powerful tool for manipulation. If you find this topic intriguing and desire to delve deeper with me, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. For those new to the channel, your subscription greatly contributes to raising awareness about narcissistic abuse. Within the realm of covert narcissism, there are 4 primary types of voices employed by these individuals. The first 2 are exclusive to the covert subtype, while the latter 2 can be utilized by both subtypes. The first voice type employed by narcissists is excessively sweet. The second type is inviting, bubbly, open, and respectful. When a narcissist seeks to manipulate a new source of supply, they don the mask of an excessively sweet voice. In this phase, they project an image of someone they are not, an individual full of joy, devoid of malice and hatred. They appear kind, helpful, altruistic, wise, and exude an infectious enthusiasm that is hard to resist. The narcissist creates a sense of urgency for the target, enticing them to fall into the trap. Unfortunately, this form of interaction also encompasses love bombing. They use their sweet voice to not only create an alluring facade, but also to boast about their life, children, spouse, and possessions, subtly seeking admiration and attention for their martyr-like persona. However, important questions arise regarding high-functioning alcoholics and individuals who are depressed, but maintain an outward appearance of normalcy. These individuals may seem lifeless and emotionally numb in private, but in public, they effortlessly mask their struggles. Similarly, trauma survivors may display a change in voice, appearing excited or nervous, even though they are grappling with trauma responses. Although there are similarities, the differentiating factor lies in intentionality. Individuals facing genuine mental health issues do not aim to harm or manipulate others. Their behavior is not solely intended to influence perceptions for their own benefit, as is the case with narcissists. While the answers to these questions are complex, the presence of intentionality remains a significant determinant. Narcissists purposefully engage in behaviors that are solely driven by self-interest and manipulative tactics, distinguishing them from individuals genuinely grappling with mental health struggles. In the case of functioning alcoholics, high-functioning individuals with depression, or trauma survivors who experience voice changes, these behaviors typically occur unconsciously. They are adaptive mechanisms employed to navigate their daily lives, as they must continue performing despite their internal struggles. Their primary concern is not about whether their suffering will be seen or validated by others. However, this differs from narcissists, as their behaviors, including the way they speak, are intentional and purposeful. They are acutely aware of seeking attention, manipulating perceptions, emotions, and even inducing guilt, all calculated to elicit specific responses. When evaluating such behaviors, it is crucial to consider the broader context and observe the bigger picture. Merely witnessing voice-changing behaviors does not automatically indicate that someone is a narcissist. It could be an aspect of their high-functioning condition or an expression of something else entirely, such as social anxiety or a coping mechanism. Sharing this aspect of narcissism is intended to provide awareness that it exists. However, it does not imply that every person who experiences voice changes is a narcissist. Normal individuals may also modify their voices to be accommodating and open without exhibiting narcissistic traits or intentions. Voice type 2 holds tremendous significance as it showcases the narcissist adopting the role of a martyr, portraying themselves as struggling and suffering. Let's imagine you call your narcissistic parent, who happens to be a covert narcissist. As their child, they control you through fear, a deeply ingrained sense of obligation, and intense guilt. Their aim is to make you feel obligated and ashamed, triggering your compliance with their desires. Suddenly, during the call, they adopt a voice that conveys immense struggle, as if they are on the brink of death or their last moments are imminent. They imply that anything could happen to them, a potential heart attack or impending passing. It is crucial to recognize this manipulation tactic and the urgency it stirs within you. Unbeknownst to you, feelings of tension creep in as the shame of your absence or lack of proper obedience takes hold. Your unresolved abandonment trauma compounds the situation further, exacerbating the complexity of your trauma responses. Covert or overt narcissists consistently abandon you on various levels, physically, emotionally, and psychologically, creating a chaotic environment of neglect. The narcissist skillfully pushes your buttons, wielding their knowledge of mechanisms that will propel you into action. They employ a voice that they know will tap into your vulnerabilities, compelling you to fulfill their wishes, such as providing them with money or carrying out tasks they know will pose challenges for you. Consequently, you leave everything behind to cater to their demands. How do I know this? Unfortunately, my whole life revolved around experiencing precisely this dynamic. It was only when I emotionally and psychologically detached myself from my covert narcissistic mother that I truly began to discover my own identity. Previously, my purpose seemed solely centered on making her life better, taking care of her, and ensuring her comfort. I had no concept of self, as my identity appeared to serve one purpose alone, boosting her ego. Even the slightest modulation in her voice would set me off, urgently jumping into action, desperately seeking answers and solutions. This pattern became an obsession, evolving into an OCD-like behavior that seemed impossible to escape. Let's now turn our attention to voice type 3, the raging voice characterized by extreme anger and hostility. Both overt and covert narcissists exhibit this type of voice, and it is unmistakable when they unleash their rage. It feels as though an entirely different persona is speaking through the narcissist, one that is heavy and dark. They grovel, snarl, and viciously attempt to tear you down, psychologically assassinating your character. This behavior unveils their splitting tendencies as they rapidly shift from their excessively sweet voice to a ferocious, cruel, and hateful demeanor. Your yearning for their approval stems from an intense fear of their disapproval. If they were to abandon you, it would result in prolonged periods of silent treatment. They would belittle, neglect, and scorn you, ultimately triggering your core abandonment wounds. The fourth type of voice is characterized by a dead, monotonous, and emotionless tone, the authentic voice of the narcissist. They are emotional zombies, incapable of feeling anything, which is why shifts in modulation cannot be observed. Many well-known narcissists online who speak about narcissistic abuse exhibit this voice. Pay close attention to their tonalities and notice how there may be a lack of genuine content when they have devalued you and internally separated you from their inner circle. This is when you may hear the monotonous dead voice. In this state, they are consumed by hatred, and their true self surfaces, albeit concealed behind a mask. It is important to differentiate this tone from other conditions such as autism or trauma responses. Context and observing other associated behaviors are crucial when discerning the complete picture. You may also encounter the monotonous dead voice when the narcissist loses interest in you, realizes you are no longer their primary source of supply, or has lined up other sources. At this point, they have no desire to provide you with approval or engage in love bombing. Their objective is for you to simply go away, and they show no interest in maintaining any form of connection. In conclusion, narcissists adeptly wear various masks, specific to the changes in their voices. It is through these vocal transformations that they manipulate and control your emotions, as unsettling as it may seem. They can assume the persona of an excessively sweet individual, a martyr victim who portrays themselves as wronged by everyone, or a monotonous voice devoid of any genuine emotion. Each of these masks serves to expose the underlying rottenness of their personality. With that, we draw this episode to a close. I hope you have found it enlightening. If so, please share your thoughts in the comments and pass the knowledge along to others. I look forward to our next conversation. Until then, let the journey of healing commence and persist.